everyone. Welcome to Jimmy John's Field for another exciting matchup between the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Alongside Jason Ross Jr., I'm Jenna Rose. Sunday fun day today. You're not going to want to miss it. We've seen an impressive performance from the superstars so far this weekend, especially from Ken Jaffe Jr. We saw Utica Unicorns pitcher Miguel Sereno knock him out. So while they bring some questionable entertainment, it's very, very entertaining. Today taking the bump is going to be two right-handers, Andrew Verbrugge for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, and we're going to see Austin Shea, the right-hander, make his debut as a starter for the Beavers. But Jason, let's dive into what Verbrugge brings to the table here today.
Yeah. For Verbrugge, he's kind of getting back into a rhythm of consistency right now. Today will mark just his second consecutive scheduled start since the month of June for various reasons. After his June 30th start, he didn't make another appearance until July 28th, which was last Wednesday against Utica. However, he didn't look like he took a month off. Went a season-long 5 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs. In the past for Verbrugge, second, third trip through the order had been somewhat of an issue, but last time out, that wasn't really a problem, and he told me entering that most recent start that one of the keys gearing up for the second trip to the order would be to change eye levels and mix speeds throughout the course of the second and third trips through. In addition to a curveball he's utilizing, he feels that pitch, in his words, has been tremendously effective and tremendously improved. The numbers would back it up. It's been his primary put-away pitch against both lefties and righties so far this season. He'll throw that in addition to a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, and changeup. He'll hope to keep a Beavers lineup off balance today that's been relatively quiet, just 2 runs over their past 2 games, G.
Yeah, but then looking on the Eastside Diamond Hoppers side of things, or excuse me, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, we're going to see Austin Shea make his first start. We've seen him in 1 appearance so far. That was towards the tail end of July, and during that stretch he worked 1 inning, faced 4 batters, and only allowed 1 hit. So a bit of a small sample size when we look at his arsenal, but you can anticipate to see from Shea that 4-seam, changeup, and curveball. So implementing some pitches that can keep opposing batters off balance. Shea did come from the Frontier League. He was with the Juliet Hammers during that time, where he worked 40 1/3 innings pitched and struck out 38 during that stretch. So excited to see him make his first start here today at the USPBL. Now, Jason, let's take a look at that Diamond Hoppers lineup.
Yeah, the Hoppers lineup that Shea will face is led off, as per usual, by Ben McConnell. He'll also play in center field. Colton Horner will do the catching and bat second. Pedro Castellano will bat third and play at second base. Felix Abaret does the DHing and batting cleanup. Burke will bat fifth and play at first base. Greg Vaughn Jr. will be in left field and bat sixth. Will Crucino will play in right field and bat seventh. Christian De Los Santos will bat eighth and play at third base. Rounding out the lineup is Juan Lopez Rios, batting ninth and playing at shortstop.
Leading off for the Beavers is going to be Connor Bagneski out in center field. We saw Santiago in that spot previously, but now Santiago is batting second. He'll be at shortstop. Batting third will be Roy Verdejo patrolling left field. Batting cleanup is going to be Christian LeBoy out in right field. At second base, batting fifth will be Keyshawn Lynch. We're going to see Ron Williams Jr. at first base today. He'll be batting sixth. Collier Rutledge will be the designated hitter for the Beavers, batting seventh. Tyler Blom will be catching, batting eighth. And finally, to round out the lineup will be Nefi Mercedes. He will be manning the hot corner. Exciting matchup here today. Sunday fun day. You won't want to miss it. We'll see you at game time.
Stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Your neighbors are going to be jealous when they see you're getting a new Connecticut water system. Say goodbye to hard water problems. No more spots on your glassware. Your laundry will feel and smell better. Your hair and skin will look and feel better. Say goodbye to hard water problems and say hello to great tasting crystal clear water with CGC Water.
A sticky day for some baseball here today as we welcome you back to Jimmy John's Field in downtown Utica, Michigan. Jeremy Otto now alongside Jenna Rose to bring you the call here today. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the following: AAA, Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, LeClaire and Macomb, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, Valpak, and UWM. We thank all those fine partners for what they do for the USPBL. Jenna, time to take a peek at our pitcher comparison brought to you by Ascension here today. What do you think?
Well, looking over at the Eastside Diamond Hoppers side of things, going to see right-hander Andrew Verbrugge coming in today very confident with his curveball. It's a pitch that he's been working on for the past year and something he feels is really starting to come into place this season. So it's going to be key when we look at the Beavers side of things to be patient on the different speed variations coming from Verbrugge. Along with that, we're going to see his two-seam, four-seam, and changeup sprinkled in there. And for the Beavers, it's going to be right-hander Austin Shea making his first start here in the USPBL. Made some starts previously in the Frontier League where he worked 40 1/3 innings and struck out 38 during that time. He's had one appearance here for the Beavers, and from that small sample size, faced 4 batters, allowed 1 hit, and typically utilizes his four-seam change and curve.
Take a peek at your team comparison here today as these two teams line it up. The Beavers starting to pick it up offensively. Their team batting average kind of weighed down by the beginning of the season so far, but we've started to see really a bit more power after a shy July when it came to home runs early on. But that's morphed into August. The dog days of summer, the ball flying a bit more. First pitch when we get back on the USPBL Network. Stick with us.
About the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Jeremy and Jenna back with you here from the ballpark. So glad you could join us as a part of your Sunday 79 degrees at game time. It feels more like 90s, though. 79% humidity. That's a big reason why. There was quite a bit of rain that passed through the area. There was a lot of work to be done on the field before the game today, but they've gotten this infield prep and ready to go as Austin Shea makes his first start and second appearance here in the USPBL.
Dialing back to that first appearance, Jeremy, that came at the end of July, and that was against the Hoppers. Talked about it sent 4 batters to the plate. Only one was able to record a hit off of him, but it's something where we're still getting to know him here in the USPBL. Shea saw some time in the Frontier League, the Juliet Slammers. Is that how it doesn't spell like Juliet, but there's an O in there?
Joliet.
Joliet,
yes.
There we go. Fun name, but during that span of time, ERA of 5.58, and going to see glimpses of that 4-seam changeup and curve.
McConnell, Horner, and Castellano, your Zach Hart agency. 3 men due up here in the first inning to face Austin Shea. Let's check the defense behind the Beavers. It's Verdejo, Bagneski, and LeBoy in center. Mercedes and Williams on the corners today. Lynch and Santiago up the middle with Tyler Blom behind the plate. Ben McConnell looking to start things off right here. A speedy guy, if he gets on, can certainly swipe a bag. And that's been a fairly large story lately, it feels like, here in the USPBL. There's been a number of leadoff batters, I feel like especially, who have gotten on and then quickly trying to steal second and sometimes third.
Yeah, and that's something that we're probably going to see a flash of here today on the Beavers side of things. Connor Bagneski and Santiago being the tandem up front for the Beavers.
Ed Campanella is still tinkering with his lineup. He now has Bagneski back in the leadoff spot here today, and Santiago hitting second. I think really either of those guys are pretty good candidates for that. Shea set and ready for the first pitch of the ball game, delivered today at 1:03. Big swing and a miss by McConnell, 1-1 quickly on him. Shea, a guy who likes to work pretty quick. Slight breeze blowing out to left center field here today, according to the American flag and the pennants, and right center and dead left. Fastball at 90 there is whittled back. Shea, in his first and only appearance so far in the USPBL, which was an inning long, topped out at 92 with the fastball, average 91. Through the change, the second most. Heavy fastball against Ben McConnell as he gets him to fan for the 13th time this year.
Striking out McConnell on the outside corner. As you mentioned, Jeremy, he's moving pretty quickly here in this start today. Only, if you said first pitch was 1:03, it's 1:04 right now. So quick at bat, a way to keep batters off their timing and rhythm is to just keep pounding them in the strike zone.
Here comes Colton Horner. I'm sure the Hoppers welcomed him with open arms. Considered to be one of the better receivers catching-wise in the USPBL, and certainly one of the better bats average-wise, 319 with a little bit of power as well. 5 extra base hits coming into play today. Fastball at 90 on the corner for strike one.
Currently riding in on a 3-game hitting streak, so as you mentioned, Jeremy, he does have that extra base power and coming in consistently at the plate.
Fastball away. Pedro Castellano would be next, and then Felix Apparet and Joe Burke. Joe Burke off to a pretty good start for this Hoppers team. He's 3 for 7. 2-1. First curveball by him.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Burke is adjusting well here in the USPBL from college, already putting in his first home run, a 3-run home run here in the league. Recorded 52 homers in college.
That last pitch actually a changeup. The differential was so good. I just assumed a curveball, although it didn't have much break, but I mean, that's a differential of 10 miles an hour. 91 to 81 there, right where you want to be. Tougher to attain than you might think. Changeup, one of the harder pitches for arms to master at any level, as Colton Horner grounds out for out number 2.
We can see that Eric Santiago is getting comfortable there at shortstop and filling in that spot quite nicely, as we saw previously with Ian Coleman's third triple play together that they've had. 2 when they were in Cincinnati. First professional triple play here.
Made Sports Center again. USPBL has showed up on Sports Center quite a bit, it seems, lately. Strike 1 to Castellano. There's the curve. Little pop fly to left. Santiago steering straight into the thick air here today. It's Verdejo who takes it. And that will be out number 3 in the first inning. Strikeout, ground out, pop out. Nice little 1-2-3 inning for Austin Shea in his first appearance as a starter. Now time for your Thrifty Florist sweetheart of the game here today. JJ will deliver some flowers to those fans here today. Not able to snag Christine, but she is your Thrifty Florist sweetheart of the game. Back with more after this on the USPBL Network.
I enjoy renovating my home, so getting materials with my Chevy Silverado is a daily trip. But as the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, it's perfect for all my projects. And with the most functional bed of any pickup, plus the power-up down tailgate, my Silverado helps me with everything I need. Of course, a little assist from a friend doesn't hurt.
Lease a 2021 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for just $199 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Connor Bagneski, Santiago, and Roy Verdejo. Your Zach Hart agency, 3 men, 2 up here in the bottom of the first inning. They'll face Andrew Verbrugge now.
The perfect trio to get the ball rolling here for the Beavers in the early stages of this 7-inning game. Santiago and Bagneski displayed the speed already, totaling together 11 stolen bases. Had to do some quick math there, Jeremy.
It's hard on a Sunday, isn't it? Quick turnaround. Although I will say, we did get out of here fairly early for a doubleheader last night. The first game was quick. The second game went on a bit longer just because of some longer at-bats and walks. But in the end, Mr. Jones, a big reason why to thank that for the Unicorns. He had a nice 5-inning start yesterday. Probably would have went longer if it wasn't a 6-inning game in the first game of the doubleheader. They wanted to work Colton Williams in at some point for 1 inning of work, so it made sense to do it in the 6th. He looked good in his first outing as well since August.
Yeah, someone who's similar to Shea can control the pace of the game pretty well. We already saw we moved through that first inning pretty quick, or top of the first.
Bagneski with a slash line of 405, 545, and 524. He's been right up there with the league leaders really since arriving. And we kind of declared this earlier in the week as well. He's at the point where he's over 50 at-bats, so I think you can start counting him as a leader in the league. But I think it was pretty apparent even after 30 at-bats, 25 at-bats, that he was going to do something here pretty special. 0-1 on the ground to De Los Santos. 4 up and 4 down combined for these two arms so far.
De Los Santos making it look easy. We did see some trouble over at the hot corner in last night's game with Lamar Briggs, a couple getting under the glove there. Some overthrows, but seems as though defense is coming in pretty solid today.
Had quite a few errors in that second game of play last night. Kind of some uncharacteristic players coming up with errors, but everybody has their day as a fastball is in for strike one. Verbrugge, another guy that likes to work quickly. Curveball remains high, 1-1 on Santiago now. Line drive to left. Vaughn will see that one jump in front.
Nice poke by Santiago heading into it today. He's been at the plate 7 times, but it seems as though most of the time he's working the count, ready to give those professional at-bats. Has been a very nice addition to this Beavers lineup, and I can see him staying in that 2 spot.
Showing some flashes, of speed. A good glove at the shortstop position as well. So overall, nice addition for this Beavers squad as we head closer and closer to the USPBL playoffs as Ray Verdejo looks at strike one. Verdejo checks in at 207. Has shown flashes of power, though. A couple doubles and 4 home runs. Castellano receives that from Lopez Rios and an easy 6-4-3 double play. That's a dandy there to get him out of this first inning, and both pitchers were able to face the minimum here in the first. Well, the Superstars are back here today. They put on quite the show yesterday. When you left, Harry Canary was climbing the stands. Did you see that?
I watched it back later, and it was pretty intense. He also had some water spurting out of his... Oh, I can see him.
There he is.
He's bubbling out down below.
Poking out of the dugout here down the third base line. We have a new addition here. Who's this?
Kevin Durant Eater.
I'm going to do a little jig here. They're surprisingly mobile, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very entertaining, Jeremy. They threw in a couple of surprises last night. If you guys want to go back, check the live stream.
I'm sure there'll be a couple more today as well. So Kevin Durant Eater joins Harry Canary. For those that don't know, I guess I shouldn't assume, a broadcaster would probably, but Harry Canary is a spoof on Harry Carey, obviously, the former famous Cubs broadcaster. Oh, no. Kevin Durant Eater taking a spill there. Wow, look at him get up, though. Here's the
faster than I could. Let's not forget about that performance from Alex Frogriguez. Why is that so hard to say? Ripped off his jersey halfway through. My goodness.
So Kevin Durant Eater will make his way out of play here. Plenty more live hits to them. We'll carry most of them here on the USPBL network. End of the second, mid-fourth, end of the fifth, possibly in the end of the sixth or the midway through the seventh later on as well. Felix Aberrett, Joe Burke, Greg Vaughn Jr., your Zach Hart agency. 3 men due up in the second inning.
Yeah, Barrett definitely displays some pop in his bat. Interested to see what he can do today. 5 home runs so far, 1 double throughout this season, and 4 of those homers came by way of a right-handed pitcher, currently hitting .275 off of right-handers.
Having to wait for a group to clear. Their photo being taken in left field here. Some nice groups in the patio spaces tonight. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer's tent down the right field line and your Tryon Solutions tent down the left field line as well. Austin Shea, strikeout, ground out, pop out in that first inning. Both pitchers able to face the minimum as he delivers the curveball outside. Quite a bit of fastballs to the leadoff man, Ben McConnell. Then he was able to work in the changeup and the curve to the 2-3 hitters. Aberrett right on top of that one, but a bit too early.
Well, Shea is going to be up for a challenge in Aberrett, Burke, and Greg Vaughn Jr. They're all players who have displayed that when they get a hold of the ball, they can really send it into the outfield.
Greg Vaughn Jr. quickly elevating on the analytics side. Won't bore you with the exact stat. Here's the 1-1 away, but according into several stats, Greg Vaughn Jr. is now the second most valuable hitter at this point. You can guess who's first, Connor Bagneski. Here's the 2-1. Popped him up to center field. There he is. Pretty valuable on the defensive side of the coin as well for the second out. For the first out, I should say.
Aberrett times it up well to send it back up the middle, but just a bit underneath it, making it easy for Bagneski to camp under it. And Jeremy, how funny. You're literally talking about Bagneski. You read the tea leaves last night.
They're back today, huh? I'm going to read them right now. It says the humidity will go down 40% by 2 p.m. This one outside to Joe Burke.
Well, that would be nice, Jeremy. I would not mind that one.
One of those days where you just kind of feel like you can reach up and just grab a cloud.
Ugh.
Chopped foul, 89-mile-an-hour fastball there. Shea, since he turned pro, he's played a couple different teams, and now actually 3. Played in the Frontier League pod last year for Chicago. Those kind of popped up around the United States in various forms. Of course, the USPBL, the natural pod, just based off what they do here. Line drive down the right field line. Fair ball. Sneaking its way all the way to the corner. This could be trouble. Burke chugging to second. And he will be there standing up with a double.
Man, Burke got a really good hold of that one. I mean, Jeremy, I thought that was going to go foul, but really just carried over that line drive to the right side. Definitely has pop in his bat.
Gives all his protective devices there to Adam De La Cruz. Now Greg Vaughn Jr. will try to drive him in here. It's the first base runner of the game for the Hoppers. Beavers had one off the single, but that was quickly erased off the 6-4-3 double play by Lopez Rios, Castellano, and Burke to end the first. First pitch fastball in for strike one, a consistent 90-91 so far here today for Shea. And if you're wondering, he's kind of already stretched out, so innings and length shouldn't be too much of an issue for him today. 0-1. Peel says no. 40 innings in the Frontier League this year. Strikeout rate of 8.5. Walk rate of over 8. It's kind of where he's been so far in his pro career. Same for last year, 1-1. Good stop by Blom.
This could be a real sweet spot of the order for the Hoppers when you're considering Aberrett, Burke, and Greg Vaughn Jr. Just a matter of consistently putting the ball in play because they have the power behind it.
several outings in the Frontier League this year of 5 innings. His last against Schaumburg on July 22nd. It looked like a bullpen appearance. And 1 bullpen appearance here as well. 2-2 is outside. Schaumburg with another good name. It's the Boomers. Evansville Otters also in that league. Lake Erie Crushers. Some winners there. 3-2. Ooh, that's a call we've seen called fairly consistently, but I think the players mostly had a beef last night. It got a heave-ho of John Dombrowski, ejected late in game 2 of that game, trying to argue for Lamar Briggs. But here it's a walk, different home plate umpire tonight.
Yeah, and that was from the delivery of Ferguson. I thought he was going to continuously pound right-handers inside, but you could see he kind of started to avoid that pitch.
Wind picking up to left center field as Krushena pounds this one back. How about the Florence Yalls? That's another name in that league as well. I drove by that stadium on the way down to Tennessee this year. Down in Kentucky, just over the Ohio border, as this chiseled into right. Turning around third base is Joe Burke as Vaughn Jr. Or Krushena, I beg your pardon, will stay at first, and the pond is full of hoppers in the second.
Krushena is another batter who has showed some sneaky power so far this season. I always go back to the tornado day, Jeremy. He hit that home run into left field, looked really nice. So unfortunately, those games had to stop due to weather, and we all had to evacuate to the bathrooms, but that's how it goes sometimes.
They will be played out at some point. They're going to try to start working those in by next week, and over the next couple weeks in the days where there are not games already scheduled. They will be private games with no fans, but just trying to finish out some of those contests. Runners on the corners in as that fastball at 92 in for strike 1. And those were 2 huge home runs in that game because the Hoppers were down 5-0 in what was a doubleheader day, so only a 6-inning game. Came all the way back in 2 innings. Can't remember if that was the 6th or the 5th where they had hit those 2 home runs, but regardless, one swing and a miss by De Los Santos.
De Los Santos comes into today riding a 4-game hitting streak, 10 RBIs so far this season. A single could bring in 2.
Swing and a miss. De Los Santos K's for the 2nd strikeout for Shea this game. And now Juan Lopez Rios, obviously a dangerous bat here at the bottom of the lineup here today, was leading off mostly before his injury. Ben McConnell has settled in nicely into that spot since. Trying to come up with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second. The 0-1. Fastball away. Ben McConnell is on deck. Your Zagcart agency man on deck. Lopez Rios, the 6th man to bat here in the second. Roped on the ground, but right to Mercedes. Easy play for him as he steps on the bag, and that will be the end of this 2nd inning. A double, a walk, and a single, all stranded.
I enjoy renovating my home, so getting materials with my Chevy Silverado is a daily trip. But as the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever, it's perfect for all my projects. And with the most functional bed of any pickup, plus the power-up down tailgate, my Silverado helps me with everything I need. Of course, a little assist from a friend doesn't hurt.
Lease a 2021 Silverado Custom Crew Cab for just $199 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Good stuff here. Feels like it's high school football season. We're just a couple weeks away. The Romeo High School Band, which performed the national anthem here today. Giving a little mid-inning entertainment as well.
And Jeremy, you're starting to get some more high school football time under your belt as well. You're joining a new podcast for State Champs, correct?
Yes. Yep, for Ohio football. So State Champs is kind of in multiple states, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. So they want me to focus on Ohio, so that'll be a new challenge for me. But there's some good football certainly down to our south. Excited to call high school football again, though. I've been doing it for a while, and I think it's starting to get more on the map here. I mean, we'll probably never get to the point of anywhere like Texas here in Michigan, but there's some big-time athletes that have been coming out of Michigan lately. LeBoy, Keyshawn Lynch, and Ron Williams Jr., your Zach Hart agency. 3 men due up here in the second. For Brugge, looking to keep things rolling here in the second. Single with 1 out back in the first by Santiago, and immediately after that was able to double up Verdejo on an 0-1 pitch. Hit hard to Lopez Rios, who turned it to Castellano and over to Joe Burke.
Christian LeBoy comes into today's game on a 5-game hitless streak, looking to find that same consistency that we've seen in previous outings.
And before that, he was on a pretty nice roll. So I think they think he can certainly get back to that point. You can hear positive things when you talk to the coaching staff in terms of his projectability. I mean, his body type just screams athlete out there for you. 2-2 by Christian. Has not hit a home run in the USPBL quite yet. 4 doubles coming into play today. Driven in 8.
And just looking where he's hit singles so far this season, it's spread throughout the field, so he's someone who can take it any way.
Fouled off. "13 pitches for Brugge, so he was very efficient in that first. Double play helps all matters. It's a long battle from LeBoy as he coaxed a walk. JJ the Bat Dog gets a nice round of applause.
How could he not? Such a good boy. Those bats do look pretty heavy, though. I'll give him that.
Looking to drop down a bunt. Just foul. Keyshawn Lynch certainly has the speed to reach in a ball like that. We were just talking about it in the press box today before the game kind of off the air. Keyshawn Lynch, the guy who's only hitting a $125, but so much more potential in this bat. And he's hit so many balls hard just right at guys. Good indication of that. His batting average on balls in play very low at 172. 0-1, ripped up the middle. There's a case in point. Took an 89-mile-an-hour fastball and hit it off a tee.
And he hit that pretty hard, sending it into center. McConnell having a little bit of a bobble out there. LeBoy to second, Lynch to first. That was on a...
My notes are bad here to Jen. I tried to pass on a stat. 98 exit velo, I think.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure.
Did you think I was saying the pitcher threw it 98?
I think I would have noticed that one.
I don't think we've had a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the league for a while. Maybe there was one arm who threw very hard. His name escapes me. I think it was before I got here last year, but this pitch outside. We've certainly seen 95, 96. We saw it last night from Olive. Heath Olive again. Didn't bring the best command control. I'm sure that's something to look to work on, but dotting the radar gun easily, 94, 95. Hard hit again. Lopez Rios can't backhand it. LeBoy rounds third. He's going to score without a throw. 1-0 Beavers here in the second.
That's a hard hit coming off of the bat of Ron Williams Jr., but it seems that is really tough to play over at shortstop there, given that LeBoy was kind of right in the passing lane as the ball was coming, so probably didn't get a good glimpse at it. Typically seeing solid plays over at the shortstop position. But again, vision is everything, and you're already kind of battling at times, the umpires right there, and then you think about runners on.
Collier Rutledge looks at a strike. Him, Blom, and Mercedes, bottom three in the order tonight for Ed Campanella. Rutledge, the designated hitter here today. Just to finish that thought on Keyshawn Lynch, league batting average on balls in play is .289. So he's obviously sub 2, which for a guy that's hit it so hard can be a good indication of why he's struggling. They're just really not dropping for him. As this one feeds it past Lopez Rios, he did stop it, and that will at least keep Keyshawn Lynch on third.
That was a nice diving play there by Juan Lopez Rios, coming back nicely to that defensive position since his time away. And it's nice to see the Beavers start to string together some hits coming into today. It's really important for them to capitalize with runners on, and so far so good. 1 run is scored.
The third baseman, Chris De Los Santos, pinching in. That one chopped up the middle. Lopez Rios bobbles, still feeds it into second, and they're still able to turn a double play to get themselves 2 outs. Another run will score. 2-0 Beavers.
That's all you can do is knock down those grounders. That'll send up Nefi Mercedes, coming in with 3 walks to 24 strikeouts this season.
Hitting at the bottom of the lineup here tonight. Another big RBI. Standing at first base. Or third base, I should say. Ron Williams Jr. It would advance there after the double play. LeBoy and Lynch have scored in this inning. Curve ball outside. Talked to Shane McCaddy, the pitching coordinator here at the USPBL, about Verbrugge before the game. He really likes him. Mentions that they've made a pretty big overhaul with his mechanics. And a lot of it is when he comes from the stretch as well. Trying to be a little bit more straight up. Told that to Jason Ross Jr. earlier this week. 3-0 in. He walks Mercedes. Turns it back to the top of the order for Connor Bagneski, which has quietly been a 7-batter inning after the Hoppers sent 6 to the plate in the second. So both teams faced the minimum in the first, but churning the offensive wheels a bit more here in the second.
Yeah, Bagneski is not someone you want to see step into the box when you have runners on, especially in this moment. 2 outs, first and third. Definitely one of the best candidates to do it, and following him, Santiago, and we're starting to see some consistency there. The ability to work a count, the speed in the 2.
If they could just really get going for Dejo, LeBoy, and Lynch, who's hitting in the heart of the lineup here today, those are some good hitters. Just haven't been able to get loose as much as they'd like so far this year. No better time than right now. Connor Bagneski lifts this one to center. McConnell is under it. The earth of the flagpole there, and he makes the catch for the third out here in the second inning. 2 runs to score. Ron Williams Jr. and Collier Rutledge both drive in a man here in the second. And it's 2-0 Beavers. It's time for the Superstars once again, Jenna. What do you think they're going to bring here?
You know, I'm not sure, but it looks like it's another new face.
Tim Tebow. How about that? Tim tried out baseball for a number of years, just retired recently. We got the Jaws music here. What's going to go on?
Those are some pretty big horns.
Uh-oh. He's chasing Pickens there. Look out.
Ooh.
Austin Shoemaker out there trying to defend himself against Tim Tebow. Ooh. It looked like they were joining forces there for a second, and then he attacks him again.
Got the TikTok crew down there, so I'm sure they got the dances going down. I think him and Shoemaker and Slya had a new one the other day.
All right.
Oh.
Most people couldn't do that in real life.
This is real life, Jeremy.
True. I mean, but this is the mascot doing this. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Tim Tebow putting on a show here today. And he thought he was showing up there, I guess, a little bit by the cartwheel, I guess, you know. The Superstars once again performing here tonight. We talked about it yesterday, but
Oh.
oh, there you go.
T-bowling.
Here you go. T-bowling. I think it's hot inside one of those.
You know, on a day like this, I wouldn't want to find out. Like you said, I feel like I could reach out and grab the clouds.
I think
It's
Jason
humid.
is going to go down and interview one of them at some point here.
Ooh. You're not sure where you'd put the mic.
Harry Canary would be a good candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Santiago Verdejo, or check that. It's turn over the scorebook here. McConnell, Horner, and Castellano. Too distracted by what just happened on the field. To lead off the third inning, brought to you by Zach Hart Agency against Austin Shea. A little bit of traffic for him, but was able to strand all the base runners he allowed in the second. Double, walk, single by Burke Vaughn Jr. and Krishna. 2 strikeouts so far for Shea. had a perfect first inning. He's 37 pitches deep. Decent cut on a 2-1 pitch by McConnell. Heavy fastball against Ben the first time around, so we'll see what Shea does here. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on McConnell.
McConnell just getting a piece of it there to stay alive.
Two and two on McConnell, the center fielder here tonight. Every fastball he's seen so far is 90. Every fastball he's thrown has been 90. Is that accurate, Matt? No. I'm over-speaking my bounds here. Maybe 89, his low today. He says yes. He shakes his head. Matt Snyder's back with us in person here tonight. Here's the 2-2. High. From the analytics staff. Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts of McConnell tonight, and number 3 on the afternoon for Shea.
It'll be McConnell's 14th strikeout so far this season. And he's typically been able to work the count against right-handers, Jeremy, drawing 8 walks so far, 11 hits.
That wind still blowing at a decent clip to left center. Not as hard as we've seen it, but all the leaves on the trees also kind of shifting.
Must feel good on a muggy day like today.
Yes, very. Curveball away, 1-0. Horner grounded out his first time up. Popped him a foul. That one back towards the suites above us. All those heads turning really quick in the stands, making sure it didn't come at him. Decent amount of kids in front of us here today. Always fun to see the kids on Sunday Fun Day, as they coin it. I'm sure there'll be a good amount of them to run the bases after the game. 2-2 now on Colton Horner.
It definitely is entertaining both for kids and adults with the superstars in town.
Yep. Yesterday and today. 2-2 again, chop foul. Ouch, hard off the leg of Colton Horner. You already take a beating enough behind the plate, and that just adds to the bumps and bruises now. All the infielders spread out with Horner at the plate here. Outfielders pretty much straight up as well, shading him slightly towards the right field gap there, or the left field gap, I should say. 2-2. Tough pitch to foul off right in on his hands, but he does just that. That the change, which has some depth to it, especially the ones he's been able to locate in the zone. Finishes him off there.
2 straight strikeouts for Shea there.
3 of the last 4 batters as well going down on strikes. All of them have been swinging to this point.
And he's done well with runners on base so far. We saw in the previous inning, bases were loaded, and it was a quick first inning for Shea.
First pitch to Castellano, dives inside. Another changeup down low, 2-0. So this is the top of the order here in the third inning. They went 1-2-3 back in the first. Followed up by a 6-batter inning, 4 through 9 in the order. Swinging on 2-0. Hardy won, but lifted way foul. 2 runs off 4 hits and no errors for the Beavers thus far. No runs off 2 hits and no errors for the Diamond Hoppers to this point. Those 2 runs scored in the second. They had themselves a 7-batter inning. Fly ball chiseling its way to left center field. Kieran with the win. Bagneski crashes into the wall. Can't get it. It's by the glove of Verdejo. He's going to head to third base here, and Castellano going to reach it as the throw is off the bag and up the line.
Bagneski slowly making his way up out in center field. That was a hard hit ball. It looked like it had a lot of airtime on it, so I can see why it was a bit tricky to get the good read on it there. But man, this is the perfect opportunity for the Diamond Hoppers to get a run on the board. Aberrett stepping up to the plate, runner on third. He's really displayed that extra base power so far this season, matter of consistency.
Aberrett popped out back in the second inning as he looks at a fastball high. Again, a 7-inning game here today. Both of these starters could conceivably give you decent length if you're these managers here tonight. 1-1 on Aberrett now. Here's the 1-1. Away, tripping, as he tried to gauge that play, was Castellano. Not sure he was going to fully sell and go. That was just maybe a bluff and look. Blom got back to it pretty well.
Yeah, interesting combination of events there. Castellano going down at third and missing the strike zone here. Jay didn't get the catch on the new ball, too.
This one in for strike 2. Two in there for strike 3. Aberrett's a member of 3 strikeouts here in the 4th inning against Austin Shea. He has 5 combined here tonight. That's your 5th third out of the game. Brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Time for JJ the Water Boy, presented by Michigan First Credit Union here today. Much needed water for anybody in the ballpark here tonight.
No, really had to get some on the way up to the booth today. It was pretty hot and sticky before. Sun went away now, but it's like a tangible moistness.
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
So JJ the Water Boy, always presented by Michigan First Credit Union here today. This is the spot we usually have our GTE Kids Race the mascot. Looks like that's not going to happen at this moment, but gives us time to send it to our fine sideline reporter, Jason Ross Jr. Jason?
Well, Jeremy, Andrew Verbrugge coming back out to work. His second trip through the order now. I had a chance to exchange texts with Verbrugge earlier today, who's generally very relaxed the day of a start. Said he likes to arrive about an hour before game time, then goes into his routine with his fellow pitchers and mentally preparing for the moment. Second trip through the order in particular is something we talked about because that's been a bit of a struggle for him in the past. He told me that changing eye levels, mixing speeds, as Jenna touched on in the pregame, will be very key there. He's done better with that of late. Last start, a season high 5 innings of work, only allowed 2 earned runs in that outing last Wednesday against Utica, so we'll see how he does here against this Beavers lineup as moving forward.
Good stuff. And we talked about it and mentioned it a bit earlier, but speaking with the coaching staff as well, they've made so many tweaks with him. They're certainly giving him some time to work through it. Do we have a few raindrops falling here? Or no? Just fans adjusting.
Fans adjusting, I'd say.
Number of balloon animals down there. Balloon twisters are here, I believe, every Sunday, maybe more than that. See them before the game walking around the concourse. They're always brought to you by Fairy Tale Entertainment. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I can make a couple balloon animals, Jeremy.
Can you?
A dog, a giraffe, snake.
Okay. Well, why don't you show your skills before a game one time? This one poked to right. Krushena will dig up that one. That's 2 hits for Santiago here tonight.
Yep, able to work both the opposite way, seeing his first single go to the left side. Now sending it the opposite way here to right. Definitely one of the new faces in the league that we've enjoyed seeing so far for the Beavers, and along can be the same storyline for Burke here. The Hoppers, both able to get things rolling offensively.
First pitch to Verdejo, in for strike 1. Well, Johnny G gets a nice dig in as Brett Rogers, our fine analytics intern, snagging bats right here in the 3rd inning. But he said, there goes Brett, such a good boy, like he does for JJ. Oh, that was good stuff. Brett, his last day with us here. So we thank him for his work with the USPBL this year, as Greg Vaughn Jr. has his first out in the 3rd. Christian LeBoy walked in the 2nd. He started that rally, which featured 2 runs and 5 base runners. And it could have been worse. The bases loaded, stranded in the end, with Connor Bagneski coming to the plate. Hit a fly ball to center field, which is a bit of an adventure lately. That wind continuing to pick up. Am I feeling a bit of a coolness starting to come upon us? That usually doesn't mean good things, as this one chopped foul at home plate for Colton Horner. And boy, takes a bite as he's hitting, now takes a bite as he's catching where the equipment doesn't protect. The inner thigh, it looks like there.
Yeah, we've seen some dangerous hops for catchers. Shoemaker being a victim of that previously this season.
One and one on LeBoy now. Verbrugge going to keep a close eye on him. I feel like we've seen more of that lately as well. Pitchers may be comfortable with some things they're working on and starting to hold runners on a bit better. It's never been a huge emphasis in this league, but running secondary lead is Santiago Bluffs there.
Well, with some of the faster guys in the league making their way down to first base, we've seen it where they get pummeled over at first, but yet they'll still steal not too long after. Don't want them to get too comfortable.
Santiago 3 for 3 on stolen base tries so far this year. He's moving. He might turn to second. Doesn't realize, I think, it escaped Horner, but it kind of bounced right back to him off the brick behind the backstop. First stolen base tonight.
That makes it the 4th stolen base here in the USPBL for Santiago.
2-1. Christian LeBoy ahead in the count as well. He had a nice at bat to draw his walk in the second and takes a nice swing here. Rips it to the gap. Greg Vaughn Jr. chasing it. Santiago going to easily score. LeBoy cruises into second. 3-0 Beavers.
Only took 2 hops for that hit from LeBoy to hit the left center fence. He's someone who's been due, riding a 5-game hitless streak entering today, so having a runner on second, he was definitely able to capitalize.
RBI number 9 on the year. Keyshawn Lynch, another guy who had a sharp single right back up the middle off the bat at 98. Back in the second. He'll try to do damage with only 1 out in the third. Curveball in for strike 1. Bends in at 73. For Brugge with one of the better breaking balls statistically in the USPBL so far this year. One is low. Also has a lot of success when he looks to throw it with 2 strikes. Just 1 walk to 6 strikeouts for Andrew on the bender. Ooh, there's another one. Froze Lynch, but it's inside. Lynch is shaking his head. I'm like, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Verbrugge is comfortable going to on any count.
3-1 as Lynch gets ahead in the count here as well. Fastball poured down low. First and second with an out. We've already seen a double play off the bat of a Beaver here today. It was Roy Verdejo to end the first. Lopez Rios has been peppered with ground balls. Actually 2 double plays today. Blom also hit into 1 in the second. Lopez Rios has been ushered back in with a lot of hard hit ground balls really to his right side in his last couple games since coming back from injury. Missed over a month after being hit in the hand in a non-public game. Williams Jr. with a good cut at the 88-mile-an-hour fastball as that's fouled back. I think a fan behind home plate spilled their beer that was right in front of that ball. That's how close you are. It could be pretty jarring.
I flinch up here sometimes.
Down the front row club there has that nice little table you can fold out. 0-2 on Ron Williams Jr. Yeah, he had a big-time flinch yesterday. I called you out on it.
Yeah, you did. Shouldn't be scary, the net plus being in the booth, but here I am.
Well, one day it's going to come and hit this window, and then we're all going to wake up, I guess. Or our precious analytics data box here to our left as Ron Williams Jr. looks at one outside, 1-0.
Our precious Matt.
Yes.
Sitting here. Our baseball angel.
That's quite the title. How does he feel about that? That's going to make him feel pretty good. He shakes his head yes.
Yeah, I think he likes it. Ron Williams Jr. looking to do some damage. Verbrugge has worked him inside.
LeBoy on second, Lynch on first. Double and a walk, both in a row here in the third with already a run in. Ron trying to go the opposite way.
When he's able to barrel up the ball, he can send it to any part of the field. Just looking to get a good hold on this one.
1-2, fastball away. Two-two. Trying to carve him inside. The fastball darts low and in. 3-2. Some action in the bullpen here for the Hoppers. It's Colby Dewhurst tuning up. Dewhurst, Chambly, Ferry, the available arms today for Paul Noce. Wow, that was caught. He tipped it for sure. You could hear just the subtle as it popped right into the glove. And that for the second out here in the third inning.
That'll send up Collier Rutledge to the plate. When he finds a gap, he can do some damage.
Had a single back in the second. Fastball low and away, 1-0. Well, the radar is clear. There certainly was some rain not too long ago to our north, kind of the Saginaw area. Looks like it was hit pretty hard from early afternoon to mid-afternoon as we stretched to 2 p.m. Eastern time. So we hope to see that stay away. The wind has definitely picked up, blowing gustily to left center field. Been that way for the last few innings. 2-0, hit hard right at De Los Santos, and he, wow, will just edge out LeBoy going to third base. Ed Campanella said, "Are you sure?" That was pretty close over there. Second time we've seen a 5 unassisted in this game. And another run scratches across. It's 3-0 Beavers.
Milk, 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 yeah. Guzzle milk, drink it all. Make a milk waterfall. Cookie milk, stack it tall. Milk with no rhythm at all. Make you run fast milk. Stay awake in class milk. Pour it by the glass milk. Is that a mustache milk? Boom, 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 base milk. Smile in your face milk. Go for the goal before you know you going all the way milk. Milky high, milky hay. I hope you have a milky day. Live your best life milk. You out this world, Milky Way. Put you on the spot milk. Question, got milk? Show us what you got. Hashtag got milk.
When people keep repeating that you'll never fall in love, when everybody keeps retreating, but you can't seem to get enough, let my love open the door. Let my love open the door. Let my love open the door to your heart, to your heart.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Welcome into the USPBL Network. Beavers up 3-0 on the Hoppers. This Hoppers lineup hoping to answer back, a lineup that has tallied a total of 21 runs over their last 3 games, fresh off a season-high 12-run performance on Thursday against this very Beavers team. It's been highlighted by the play of first baseman Joseph Burke. When you look at his last 4 plate appearances, 3-run homer, a walk, an RBI double, and today a stand-up double. Burke told me after Thursday's win that really the hard work, the time into his craft, continuing to get better day by day, and being humbled a bit by professional pitching in the early stages has led to what he's doing now, which is seeing the baseball very well. The native of Jeffersonville, Indiana, set the home run record at Kentucky Wesleyan with 52 bombs through 4 years. The homer on Friday marked his first pro home run. Right now, he and this Hoppers lineup are hoping to answer back to this Beavers team.
Yeah, he's another guy, when you look at players that they step to the plate, that you just wonder what they're going to do. They have that raw power. He's going to be exciting to watch, I think, going forward for this team. And he will lead things off for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers against Austin Shea in the 4th.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that Burke and Santiago are the exciting additions to both of these teams that will be fun to watch moving forward.
Burke, Greg Vaughn Jr., Crushena, your Zach Hart Agency 3 men 2 up here in the 4th. Had a double back in the second inning, did Burke, where Shea faced 6 batters, his most trouble so far here tonight. 1, 2, 3 in the first. Retired the first man in the second. Then a double by Burke, a walk by Greg Vaughn Jr., and a single by Cruciana, but then coaxed a strikeout and a ground ball. Struck out the first 2 men he saw in the third, and then a strong double to the left center field gap by Pedro Castellano. Allowed him to reach third in the end as Verdejo bobbled the ball. But got Aberrett looking for his 5th K and got out of it again without any damage done.
Yeah, so far so good for Shea, going to see that lineup for the second time here. As you said, 3 strikeouts, McConnell, Horner, Aberrett.
Cole Stanton and Charles Donovan available if need be here today, as this is a fly ball to right center. Bagneski over the shoulder for out number 1. Campanella is hoping for 5 or 6 from Shea here tonight. Stanton could work 2 if need be. I don't believe Cole hasn't pitched this week, I don't think. He was warming up a couple times. Full week of baseball, it's hard to remember each and every facet. No, he hasn't pitched since the 31st, so that was towards the end of last week. August 1st was last Sunday. Swing and a miss by Vaughn Jr.
Solid cut there.
Fastball down slow. Shea still maintaining that high tempo. Santiago cruises over. Can't get it to Ron Williams Jr. And a leadoff error, or a one-out error, I should say, will allow Vaughn Jr. to reach.
It was a nice read off the hop there for Santiago to knock down the ball, but as you can see, the throw was just off.
It was actually ruled a hit on the board. It was going to be an above average play if he made it for sure. Had a chance to get him at first. The effort it took to get to the ball, I guess, is what factors into the hit call. So 4 on the board for the Hoppers compared to the 5 by the Beavers thus far. Lynch turns to second. Another double play here today. 4-6-3, and for the second time, Shea faces the minimum here in the 4th. It's time for the Superstars once again. Snail Earnhardt Jr. going to come out for the Rays. There was a lot of drama that happened after the race yesterday, wasn't there?
Yeah, with Ken Draffy Jr. Never seen Miguel Sereno throw a punch before, and he threw a few.
So they're going to start the mascot on third and our young fan at second base. And that's Snail moving faster than you think, huh?
No, he is. After seeing Ken Draffy Jr., I'm not sure if we're going to see some speed here. No.
Well, the kid is going to win the race here today. The Snail is really upset. The opposite happened yesterday, and a similar reaction happened as well. Oh, boy, what's going to happen here? Snail Earnhardt Jr. is looking like he's going to rev it up here, isn't he? He's taking a beeline for our kid today, and oh no! He's going to try to swallow him right up. Having a bit of trouble getting him through the shell there. Oh my goodness. The players want to watch. Look at it. Everett's watching. What's going to happen to this young man?
That's too funny. Horner getting a good glimpse. Uh-oh.
Spit up of the shoe there. Having some more trouble. The hat comes out now.
Oh.
Is there more?
See, I always get nervous because one of the superstars ate someone the other day. I'm nervous about what end he would come out of.
Looks like he's going to stay in Snail Earnhardt Jr. there, I guess. He's going to lumber his way off the field.
Ooh, glad we're up here in the booth, Jeremy. Nice
Don't say that. You never know what could happen. There's no.
I don't know what my reaction would be. I don't even think
they
could fit through the
that
door.
Yeah, that's a good point. The door's not, it's average size. It's not bigger than normal. The thing that benefits us, I think, is that there's no camera in this booth, so they couldn't necessarily capture it on this broadcast, but it doesn't mean they couldn't capture it otherwise. I'm going to hide under this countertop now, I guess. Tyler Blom, Nafi Mercedes, and Connor Bagneski, your Zach Hart agency. 3 men due up in the 4th. Andrew Verbrugge back out there. He saw another run cross the plate in the 3rd. He's given up 3 so far in this game, all earned. There's been no errors marked on either side so far here today.
Jeremy, this is such a side note.
Yes.
But the play on words for your name would be so easy. Jeremy Otto, Jeremy Otter.
Yes, very true. Do they have an Otter on the lineup here? I don't think they do.
Oh, Jeremy, you're calling.
All these people are way too famous, though, for my name to be put down there. Nobody knows me. Some of these we were trying to figure out before the game. It was interesting. Most of them are obvious, but there's a few that are kind of disguised in the name, as Krushena fading over as Blom creates the first out.
Blom getting a good hold of it after hitting into a double play in the 2nd.
How about Yao Flamingo? Yao Ming.
That's what I was thinking.
Squidney Crosby. Shark McGuire.
Whale Gretzky.
Yes. Rusty Walrus. That's one we can't figure out. Do you know what that one is? There's a few other, you have Barack Olama, obviously. What's the other one here? Dick Flytail. For Dick Vitale, I'm assuming.
Elephant Presley.
Yep. Mario Lemieux. Burke fading over towards JJ's dughouse. That's going to fly foul. Shark McGuire. LeBronco James. All these aren't here today, but these are just all the names they gave us. They kind of checked off the ones that are here.
Any more new faces for today, or are we going to see some returners?
I don't think this is the right list, though. I don't know if I picked up the wrong one, but we've seen some ones that haven't been on this list, so it's kind of as they come out for us, which I guess is kind of exciting. Fly ball to left center field. That baby's going to get down against the wall. Mercedes around first base. He'll have a stand-up double with 1 out in the 4th.
Solid contact there for Mercedes to get the ball rolling for Blom's fly out to right. That just sets the stage for Connor Bagneski. Pesky Bagneski.
Copyright the shirts, Connor, if you ever make it big here.
I'm sure we can fit that all on a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bagneski, 0 for 2 today, fly out, ground out. And we mean pesky in a good way. What he's able to do on the base pass, probably flustering some pitchers and some of the swings he takes and extra bases he's able to grant himself. (1-0) fastball outside, 88 miles an hour from Verbrugge. He's been pretty close to his average fastball all afternoon. 88's coming into play. He's topped out at 92 this year. Now the 2-0. High. 3-0 on Connor Bagneski now. And don't sleep if you're Andrew Verbrugge here. He's a candidate to swing on 3-0, you'd think. 524 slugging coming into play tonight. 3 doubles and a triple thus far. He isn't, for good reason, as he takes ball 4.
That'll be the first time today Bagneski has made his way to first base during this game. But hey, whatever works, right? Gotta get on. Beavers looking to add some cushion to this 3-0 lead.
Santiago looking to make it 3 for 3 as well. He stole his 4th base of the year when he got on in the 3rd. Righty and righty here. Curveball outside. Both of these pitchers today on the bump starting feature fastballs, curveballs, and changeups. Shea just a straight 4-seam. Verbrugge has a 2 and a 4. Fastball away, 2-0 on Santiago now. Jeremy Otto alongside Jenna Rose to bring you the call here today. Jason Ross Jr., the 3rd member of our team as well.
Verbrugge really struggling to find the strike zone here after walking Bagneski. 3-0 count on Santiago.
And now that's 8 straight balls for Andrew. He's going to load the bases for the 2nd time here today. Both teams have seen the bases loaded. This is twice for the Beavers now. That's going to draw out Paul Nochi to have a discussion. We saw some action earlier with Colby Dewhurst warming up. Nobody right now. You can see the end of their bullpen there. Roy Verdejo, 0 for 2, 6-4-3 double play in the 1st and a line out in the 3rd. Now would be a perfect time to really break this game open. Well, you could win $250 plus 4 front row tickets to the U.S. PBL Championship game in September. Text Chevy Detroit to 555-888 right now. Again, that's Chevy Detroit to 555-888. First pitch to Verdejo on the ground and through. Mercedes plated. 4-zip Beavers.
Verdejo got exactly what he was looking for when he stepped up to the plate, capitalized on it, able to send it into left center to get the ball rolling here this inning for the Beavers. Matching run number 4.
That's going to be the end of the line here for Andrew Verbrugge, with Christian LeBoy due up. 4 through 6 in the lineup today have reached a combined 5 times out of 6 tries. So Paul Nochi wants to make a switch here. Back with more after this here on the USPBL Network.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. Well, yes it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Colby Dewhurst, the native of Livonia, will take over on the mound. 6'2", 190 pounds. Will face Christian LeBoy with the bases juiced and 1 out. Trying to keep this game manageable in a 7-inning contest here today. 4-0. The deficit currently for these Hoppers, Jenna.
Dewhurst has 4 appearances under his belt here in the USPBL. His most recent one, an inning and a third, was against the Beavers, where during that stretch he walked 1. There was a hit, which was a double. But dialing into Dewhurst's arsenal, going to see that 4-seam fastball, using it just a hair over 62% of the time. Incorporates his slider as well, just about 30% of the time, and will mix in that changeup here and there. Just looking to see what he can do. Changing it now from righty to lefty, and Dewhurst on the mound. Going to give this lineup a different look on delivery here.
Has not pitched since last Saturday. So getting into play here today in the last game of the week. For the Hoppers, another full slate of games starting for you on Wednesday, the 11th of August here. Beavers and Hoppers again. We'll start out with it on the 11th. Wednesday through Sunday next week. For the last time this season, then it'll be Thursday through Sunday for the final 2 weeks of August, and 3 before that. Line drive, left field. It's back and gone! My goodness! A line drive grand slam for Christian LeBoy, taking the league by charge here today.
Christian LeBoy getting it done early, capitalizing on the first pitch that came his way. We've seen the power so far this season, but haven't really seen it in the extra base sense, but now recording his first home run here in the USPBL. LeBoy greeting his teammates after that wonderful grand slam.
His first professional home run is one he will remember. 94 off the bat, carried 350 feet, which is a big deal because of the fact that it was a line drive at the mouth of the Chevrolet Pavilion out there where those lawn-type chairs are perched out. And they're searching for the baseball for him out in left field below the pennants.
LeBoy's been due, and what a way to come back swinging. Grand slam.
Mercedes, Bagneski, Santiago, Verdejo, and LeBoy have all scored here in the 4th inning. 8-zip. The lead for this Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers team.
Lynch still in search of recording his first hit against a left-handed pitcher.
Few solid at-bats so far here today for Keyshawn. Golfed it to left. There's another nice one. Well on his way to second base. And the second extra base hit, or make it the third extra base hit of this inning. Making a case to bat around all of a sudden with just one out.
Talked about it in the pregame show. It's been crucial for the Beavers to start to make things happen with runners on, and obviously this offense has been able to spark it today. Up 8-0.
And this has got to feel pretty good for the Beavers as well. They were on the flip side of this type of score in their last game against this same very team, 12-2 against the Diamond Hoppers a couple days ago. That included a 14-batter rally for the Hoppers in that one. One to forget about, the Beavers had a position player come in and pitch. Tyler Blom didn't do too bad out there. Had a fastball that was 87-88, a slow curveball, the slowest registered in the USPBL so far this year, but he did strike out a batter. So he has that for him in his professional career. Williams Jr. is the 8th man to the plate here in the 4th inning. 2-0, carves inside for strike one.
And that has to be hard to bounce back from as a pitcher. A grand slam first pitch you throw coming back in. Double from Lynch.
And not easy in general to come in with the bases loaded. And one out is the curveball outside. 3-1 on Ron Williams Jr. now. Collier Rutledge on deck. Another good swing, poked it into right. Keyshawn Lynch is going to be held at third. Crushena playing fairly shallow there. Second hit today for Ron. Collier Rutledge looking to do the same here. He had a single back in the second. Also a fielder's choice in the third. That inning was ended because of De Los Santos touching the third base bag and barely beating out Christian LeBoy.
Rutledge 1 for 2 today with a single.
Fastball popped foul.
We've seen some breakout moments already today for some of the bats that have been silent here in this Beavers lineup. Really looking to see that burst of power from Rutledge.
Oh, 1 on the ground. Diving stop by Lopez Rios. Feeds to second. Dazzling play. How about it? Lopez Rios has been some kind of busy at his shortstop position today. That goes 6-4-3 here in the 4th.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a fifth third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. But I'll guess it is.
This is banking, a fifth third better.
Welcome back to the USPBL Network, gearing up here for the 5th inning. Austin Shea still on the mound, and he's been doing pretty well so far. Very efficient in his pitches. 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. Seeing a fly out to center from Burke. Greg Vaughn Jr. making his way to first, but then Krishina grounding out into a double play. 4 strikeouts so far, if you'll excuse me. 5 for Shea today. 3 of those came by way in the 3rd inning. We talked about it before. This is his first start here in the USPBL. We've seen 1 appearance previously, but coming in from the Frontier League, had an ERA of 5.58. Coming in from that season, striking out 38 through 40 1/3 innings of work. Now he's going to be facing, on the Hopper side of things, Christian De Los Santos, Juan Lopez Rios, and Ben McConnell. Has been successful so far going through this order for the 2nd time here today. Striking out De Los Santos in the 2nd. Lopez Rios grounding out to 3rd his last time up. Doing well with his arsenal, seeing that 4-seam, change-up curveball sprinkled in as well.
Austin Shea with a good inning in the 4th. Another double play drawn for 6-3. His spot comes around in a pretty decent area for Ed Campanella, considering that he really doesn't have a lot of arms to use here today. So he was hoping for some length from Shea, 5 or 6. (2-0) in on the hands. Mercedes is there. 1 up and 1 down. So Shea has kind of mixed contact and strikeouts tonight. At 5 strikeouts through 3. It's not struck out a batter since, but his defenders have made some nice plays for him. Just the 2 doubles so far given up for extra base hit. A single back in the 2nd as well. 11 hits on the board for the Beavers. Elevated fastball at 89. He's been anywhere from 89 to 92 so far here today, has Austin Shea. Strike 2 quickly.
We've seen Juan Lopez Rios bounce back defensively pretty quickly after coming off of that hand injury. Now looking to find that same consistency offensively that we've seen. His batting average stayed near the top of the leaderboard for quite a minute while he was out. Came in today with an average of .354. In the past, he's been known to be able to send the ball to all parts of the field. Hitting .324 against right-handed pitchers.
1-2 is a fly ball to right. LeBoy reaching up for out number 2.
Next up for the Hoppers, the center fielder number 2, Ben McConnell.
Ben McConnell trying to make something happen here for the Eastside. Has struck out twice today. Shea really has been working in those fastballs against McConnell. We saw that in his first strikeout. Struck out again in the 3rd.
Boy, that wind becoming a bit more violent out to right center field. The flags are really blowing their way out now. See if McConnell can send a ball out that way. Sends it the opposite way instead. That might carry its way to left as well. Verdejo sees it bounce. One hop against the wall. The speedy McConnell on second base before you can blink.
McConnell looking to make something happen, notching hit number 5 for Eastside compared to the Beavers' 11. You can see the flags blowing pretty hard the left way. Carried a bit. Verdejo able to catch it on the bounce from the wall. That'll send up Colton Horner, and we've seen some extra base power from him this season. 3 doubles, 2 home runs.
He's a decent candidate to hit one out in these conditions here. Not a big pole guy, though, as that one lifted foul. Horner hits it just 8% to the outfield to his pole side, 67% to the opposite field. And the rest, 25% up the middle. Mel center field might get some help as well if he hits it that direction, so let's see.
I feel like we're out golfing, Jeremy, trying to figure out the direction of the wind.
Throw the blade of grass up.
Yep, look at the flag.
Took all his might to not swing at that baseball as the first ball surrenders in. 1 and 2, Castellano on deck. Then it would be Aberrett, brought to you by Zach Hart Agency here in the 5th. 5 runs in the 4th, making this game a lot less close. As Shea notches strikeout number 6, his first since the last out in the 3rd. Strands the 2-out double by McConnell. Shea with a nice starting debut here tonight, scattering a few hits here and there. Time for your Genesis Credit Union 5th inning stretch here today, and take me out to the ball game, even though they're not doing it in the park. Are we still going to do this, Dylan, maybe? All right, why not? Let's just do it. We've already talked about it.
Oh, Jeremy.
Here we go. Take me out to the ball game, to Jenna's dismay once again here today, as always, brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Your Genesis Credit Union 5th inning stretch here today. Back with more after this on the USPBL Network. Stick with us.
Attention Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the Carpet Guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the Carpet Guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the Carpet Guys at 855 for my guys.
Welcome back, everyone, to the USPBL Network. Jeremy Otto and Jenna Rose with you here today. Jason Ross Jr., the 3rd member of our team this fine afternoon on a muggy day for baseball. The wind has picked up lately. 9-batter inning in the 4th, which included a grand slam by Christian LeBoy off a line.
Man, he definitely sent that one. I thought it was going to hit the Chevrolet Pavilion over there.
We've seen some big-time home runs according to situations like that this year recently, I feel like. It's the second grand slam we've seen so far this year. Adam De La Cruz had one earlier as well. 8-9-1 coming up for the Beavers, brought to you by Zach Hart Agency, Tyler Blom, Nafi Mercedes, and Connor Bagneski. Everybody in this lineup has reached, with the exception of Tyler Blom, but he has driven in a run. That was back in the second inning. So everybody getting involved. First pitch breaking ball from Colby Dewhurst as he works his first full inning of work here tonight. Came in relief for Andrew Verbrugge with one out and the bases loaded in the fourth, and was greeted with that line drive grand slam. Something he's tried to shake off, obviously.
Yeah, that's a tough situation to inherit as you make your way out onto the mound, but hopefully he was able to hit the reset button heading into the bottom of the fifth here against this Beavers lineup.
1-1 away, 2-1 now on Tyler Blom. Mercedes on deck. He's got a double and a walk in the number 9 hole here today. Loop foul. Throws that fastball 62% of the time. The slider 31% and the changeup at 7%. The 2-2. Fly ball shifting to right center. McConnell for the first down here in the fifth.
Has to be a bit of a sigh of relief there for Dewhurst, seeing his defense back him up on that pop fly to McConnell.
First pitch to Mercedes, hot shot, 8 up. De Los Santos picks it up and can't record the out. Good job by Joe Burke just to keep it in the infield there to prevent the extra base with all this foul territory to be had at Jimmy John's Field.
Mercedes is starting to prove that he's a threat whenever he steps into the box. That was a hard hit down there for the hot corner for Chris De Los Santos. As you said, good work by Burke to make sure it doesn't get by him.
Off the bat at 93 that time. A reminder, next Wednesday, August 11th, is Oldies Night. Every Wednesday, Oldies Night at the ballpark, our last of the year. Remember the classic music, pop culture, and food from the era as we throw it back to the 50s and 60s. $10 grandstand tickets for senior citizens can be purchased on uspbl.com. Food specials, you have that cheeseburger and malt combo for $10, and the Blake's Blueberry Lemonade Float combo with a cheeseburger for $10 as well. Fans can also purchase one grandstand ticket and get one for free for select seats only. Visit uspbl.com for tickets and more information on our fine nights.
Jeremy, you can't talk about food right now. That sounded so good.
It's getting that time, isn't it? We get here at a time where it's like, you should eat breakfast. I guess do you is somebody's preference, but by the time the game starts, and for us, we can't really eat much in between innings, I guess. They're like 60 to 90-second breaks, but, 2, 3 Eastern time now. It's past lunchtime almost, and I'm ready for dinner. 3-0 quickly on Bagneski. Had a 4-pitch walk back in the fourth off of Verbrugge. And he'll do so again in the fifth. Both him and Santiago saw 8 straight balls from Andrew. So Thursday is Prostate Cancer Awareness Night as well, presented by the Carmanos Institute for Cancer. $2 Bud Lights on what is a Thursday as well. $5 craft beer specials in the beer garden. There's also all-you-can-eat nachos. How about that? In the beer garden for $15. That's a pretty good deal. If you're one to eat a lot of nachos, fly ball, left field, into the wind once again. And at the base of the warning track there. My goodness, Bagneski was on the back of Nafi Mercedes as he had to wheel back to second. I think Nafi was making sure to see that one wasn't caught. And now the bases are loaded for the third time here today for the Beavers.
Nice poke by Santiago there. Again, with the way that the wind is going, I was wondering if that was just going to carry out a little bit, but just took one hop to get to the fence. This Beavers offense, I'll tell you what, they're turning it around, and they're able to get things going with runners on.
The next Friday also fireworks night and Catholic night presented by Alliance Catholic Credit Union. The third annual Catholic night. First pitch to Verdejo. Fastball in at 87 for strike one. So we've seen a 7-batter inning in the second, a 6-batter inning in the third, a 9-batter inning in the fourth, and so far here with only one out in the fifth, this is the 5th batter. It's been a productive day at the plate for the Beavers. 13 hits on the board, looking to score their most runs of the season. They've got 10 as their benchmark coming into play today.
Verdejo has that same kind of juice that Christian LeBoy has. Runners on base, bases loaded.
Oh-2, punch to third, into the diving glove of De Los Santos. Another close play over there. Just able to edge out Connor Bagneski. Nafi Mercedes will score. It's now 9-0.
Now batting the right fielder, number 20, Christian LeBoy.
This keeps you busy with the scorebook. Add the lines, add the RBIs, add the out. Make sure you have the right guy score. Shade in the second run today for Nafi Mercedes. 4 lines and the little color job there for us. Broken bat right back at Dewhurst. And a much different second at bat against Dewhurst for LeBoy. First one was a home run to left, which broke up, opened this game. It's still open, 9-0. Beavers our score. Time for the Superstars once again. A few more appearances for them here today. It's the Giraffe coming out again. Ken Giraffe Jr. and Bear Bonds.
Oh, Bear Bonds.
What do we got here? A little more dancing maybe?
It's a good thing Ken Giraffe Jr. sat out of the race today. Miguel Sereno hit him pretty hard.
It's the arms flapping around. Gets me. The head of the giraffe, too, I guess. Yep. Snapping back and forth.
Bonds is pretty buff.
Sure is, isn't he? I don't know why that would be the case, Jenna. I don't know. It's just the whole era for
it.
Uh-oh.
He just deflated.
Oh, no! Bear Bonds is down! Can anybody help us?
Uh-oh. Is there going to be somebody that comes back out here? Johnny G is doing some foreshadowing. Your Ascension training team is trying to revive him. Trying to get some air back in those legs. I don't know. It's not looking good, is it? Uh-oh. She says no. It's a no-go.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Bringing the blower here from the grounds crew. The Scots grounds crew trying to come out and assist here. Uh-oh. Bear Bonds coming back to life. Very appreciative of our Ascension training crew and our Scott's grounds crew as well. One more scheduled appearance in this game a little bit later with the Superstars, but as we saw last night in the late innings, they made their way into the stands as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that again. That's not distracting, right?
Not at all, no.
Cole Stanton on the mound in relief. He comes in for Austin Shea, who looked good here today. Just a couple extra base hits and 2 singles off him today, but finished with 6 strikeouts.
Was able to get some contact outs as well. Looking at Cole Stanton coming in with an ERA of 1.4, 19 and a third innings worked so far. Striking out 21, walking 7. Really just using the combination of his four-seam and slider. Opposing batters hitting 164 off of Stanton.
81 pitches for Shea through 5. That elevated a bit, maybe because of the strikeouts. He had some battles, but also had some at-bats where he kind of carved up some batters and got early contact and early counts.
Seeing some higher velocity here from Stanton. Typically averages around 90, but can max out just over 93.
We may just see 2 innings from Cole here today. Charles Donovan threw a good amount of pitches a couple games ago. Remember, the Beavers played back-to-back days, so if they don't have to push Donovan, they probably won't. Here's the 2-0 to Castellano. Fly ball to center. Bagneski battling the wind for the first out here in the 6th.
That was a nice cut there by Castellano. You can see he times it up well against Stanton, but Bagneski just able to camp under it. Always a bit of a challenge as an outfielder dealing with the elements. Not too much sun today, so really the wind is a major factor.
There was some earlier, certainly. That's kind of how the last couple days have gone. It's interesting. Made for a pretty pleasant evening after things were said and done last night. Obviously starting at night, though, so that makes a big difference as well. Here's the 0-1. Away, 1-1 on Aberrett now.
Yeah, I've gone down for some post games, Jeremy, wearing a dress and then just like a very random hoodie because it can get pretty cold come nighttime for sure in the summer.
September especially, that's going to be a factor, I'm sure. 1-2 on Aberrett. Really good strikeout rate so far for Cole Stanton. He comes in 7 walks to 21 Ks. That's good enough for 10 Ks per 9. 3 walks per 9. It's a pitch with some major life cutting on the inside. The changeup there from Stanton. It's a pitch he really hasn't thrown this year, but didn't look like a slider. Maybe it just got away from him. Here's the 2-2. Low.
Aberrett 0 for 3 at the plate today. 1 strikeout. That was looking in the 3rd against Shea.
See what he goes with here. Fastball away by Ron Williams Jr. Nice opposite field knock for Aberrett.
Nice effort there by Williams Jr. diving to try and stop the grounder, but has backup in right field. And Aberrett recording his first hit of the day.
So the strikeout breakdown for Shea, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, in between a double with 2 outs. And 1 in the fifth, which capped out his outing. It was a strikeout looking to Colton Horner with a runner on second base. Short leadoff for Aberrett. At this point, the last thing you want to do is get picked off. So I highly doubt he'll be moving. Really not the candidate to do that anyway, but he's also going to stay pretty close.
We're hitting the powerful part of this Hoppers lineup here. Could see some more runners on.
Yeah, Burke has one of their two extra base hits so far today. Williams Jr. now shifts behind Aberrett as there's a line drive way foul and over the bullpen down the left field line.
Burke making a nice transition from college ball to professional ball here in the USBBL.
Yeah, Jason talked about it in his hit earlier. Says something's a bit of a wake-up call, but doesn't really show at the plate so far. Nice slider. Started maybe at the belly of Burke and swum right to the center of the zone. 2-2 on Burke now. Had a fly out in his other at-bat in the fourth inning as well. Chops that one over the glove of Mercedes. We'll put runners on first and second here, and the first error of the game will come in the sixth.
Even when you hit them into the ground, those hard choppers like that, they have the ability to get you on. Think about that quick reaction time too, manning the hot corner. It's a tough spot to play.
Nine runs off 13 hits and 1 error for the Beavers. No runs off 6 hits and no errors for the Hoppers thus far. A complete 360 of what happened between these two teams the other night. 12-2, the final score in favor of Eastside. They had that 14-batter inning in the sixth. Featured 8 runs and 5 walks. Also some good extra base pop, a pair of doubles. Joe Burke had himself a double in that inning. Aberrett uncorked a grand slam, so I misspoke. 3 grand slams so far this year. Now the 0-1. Blocked away by Blom. If I remember right, that was also a line drive to left. All these plays and hits and strikeouts kind of blend together when you're covering all 4 teams equally in a 4-team league.
I know, when you said Felix Aberrett had that grand slam, I'm like, oh, yeah, he did. It's exciting to see LeBoy do the same here today.
The 1-1. Slider away. Reminder, you can chime in with us on Facebook and YouTube. What are you doing with your Sunday? Everybody watching at home, besides watching the baseball game, you out in your patio, enjoying the warm weather wherever you may be. 2-1, slider high, 3-1 on Greg Vaughn Jr. Maybe even got us dialed in at a beach somewhere. Be a decent day to jump in one of the many Great Lakes in our state. Fastball at 89, calling back Greg Vaughn Jr. He thought he had coaxed his second walk of this game. 20th of the season compared to 17 strikeouts. .457 on base percentage for Greg. Away. And now the base is loaded again for the Hoppers. Despite not scoring a run, this is the second time they've had a bases loaded situation as well.
Stanton not too happy with that call there. Flirting with the outside corner. That'll send up Will Krishina, who can do some damage. Already 1 for 2 today with a single. Previously grounded out into a double play during the 4th.
Well, Krishina probably loves the wind blowing right now to left field. Had a single back in the 2nd inning. Home run earlier this year, hitting .265 coming into play today. Foul, just fouled on the 3rd baseline.
And Krishina got a nice hold of that one. That could have been a game changer to at least get some runs on the board for the Hoppers.
Crazy to think in this game that they could be back within a 5-run spread in a single swing. Well, let's see. 0-1, checked his swing. He could not as he went around. Stanton has given up 2 home runs so far this year, but minimal extra base power, no doubles to this point. A single error and a walk in the 6th. The 0-2, swing and a miss, wipeout slider at 81, got him away. That's a tough pitch. 2 down, and De Los Santos at the plate. De La Cruz and Nick Kreitzer available on the bench tonight for Paul Noce, if he wants to go to any of those bats at some point. Going to stick with De Los Santos here. He's 0 for 2, strikeout, ground out. Juan Lopez Rios, your Zach Hart agency man on deck. 92-mile-an-hour fastball outside.
De Los Santos has been pretty consistent as of late in the box. Looking to put the ball in play here to make something happen.
Santiago, routine play for one of the sure-handed shortstops in this league. Williams Jr., they say he did not drag that foot on the bag, or are they just saying straight out safe?
If anything, it looked like his foot would have been taken off the bag as he had to reach out to get the catch.
Ed Campanella is out to protest here. He won't bark too much with this lead that he has, but that does break the shutout. Getting a second look at our YouTube monitor here. The throw obviously sailed. The throw definitely beat him. And it looks like he might have dragged that right toe. It's hard to tell. So probably even harder to tell at real speed. Line drive up the box, a base hit. Another runs around to score. It's 9-2 with the bases still loaded.
Nice to see Juan Lopez Rios start to produce again offensively, coming back from that hand injury not too long ago. Solid defensively, and now helping put another run on the board here for the Hoppers. Down 9-2.
Yeah, that's the thing with the hand injury. There's not too much you can do while you're waiting to come back.
Seen him in uniform a time or two.
Yeah, he coached a lot of first base with his brace on. Blom gets enough of a piece of that one to not entice Burke to stray from third. Burke on third, Vaughn on second, Lopez Rios on first. McConnell, the top of the order. He had a double back in the 5th. 9-2, the first 2 runs of the game here in the 6th inning. 1-0, line drive right at Bagneski. 8 come to the plate. 2-run score. 9-2 our lead, still for the Beavers in this one.
Attention, Michigan, there is absolutely no need to drive all over town searching for new flooring. When the carpet guys will come to your house on your schedule, we'll bring our store to your door so you can shop in the comfort and privacy of your own home. And you'll love our huge selection. Buy right now with interest-free financing for up to 4 years. You can carpet your entire home for as little as $11.99 per month. Let the carpet guys take the stress out of buying new flooring. Call for a free in-house shopping experience today.
Be wise, call the carpet guys at 855 for my guys.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Well, for the past 35 years, Bell's Brewery has been inspired to brew beers that you can count on, not just for taste, but for quality. From Two Hearted Ale to Oberon to new classics, official hazy IPA, or the easy drinking Golden Ale, Bell's has inspired beers since 1985. Bell's Brewery, Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Stephen Chambly replacing Colby Dewhurst here in the 6th inning. The Hoppers down 9-2, but a little bit of a spark from their offense in the last half inning.
Typically what you can anticipate from Chambly's arsenal is going to be that four-seam fastball, curve, slider, and changeup. 2 appearances so far this season, so 6 innings of work. Has struck out 9 during that span. Only walking 3.
First pitch right back at him. Nice reach of the glove for the first out.
A quick reaction time there on the mound for Chambly. That can always be a little tough as you're finishing your delivery. Makes a snag and makes the out.
Chambly, a guy that's pitched for a couple of minor league / independent teams. (2020). He was pitching for the 2020 Liberation League. Not sure that's a league that's around full-time. I have a feeling that was one of those pod-type leagues last year for COVID-19, but this year, right at the beginning, for the Schaumburg Boomers. 12 appearances there, 11 of them in relief. 3 walks to 13 strikeouts, so efficient in terms of that arsenal like he's been here so far. Burke gets the glove down for the second out. Everything staying in the infield so far here in the 6th. Trying to hush these Beavers, which have been so active in this game at the plate.
Quick contact outs here for Chambly. Nice way to settle in.
Between the 3rd and the 5th inning, 19 batters came to the plate for this Beavers offense, accounting for 6 runs. Make it 7, I beg your pardon. 7 of the 9. And now Elisha Celaya will get a pinch hit appearance for Collier Rutledge here. Celaya was kind of the everyday center fielder for Ed Campanella's team before Bagneski came into play. Burke floating, catching. 1-2-3 breeze of an inning for Chambly here in the 6th, all via the contact as well. Ground out, pop out, and a nice job to take the baton. Their quickest inning since the 1st, where they faced the minimum after the 1-out single and the double play as well.
Piloting a hot air balloon is my wife's passion, and she couldn't have a better wingman than my Chevy Equinox. Its stylish design rises above the rest, and with its 4G LTE Wi-Fi plus great gas mileage, Equinox keeps us connected mile after mile. With my Equinox, the sky isn't the limit.
Lease a 2021 Equinox LT for just $277 a month. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Here's Harry Canary again for the Superstars, leading you in a take me out to the ball game.
You know, I looked back at the broadcast last night, Jeremy. I don't think you could really hear the singing when we tried to hold our headsets out the window for everyone to take part.
We're not going to sing again for you. Fans getting into it, all turning around, and the confetti comes down again.
That must be with the Superstars then. The confetti.
The Superstar Keepers? Is that what you're trying to get?
I almost said zookeeper.
Yes.
Superstars. I was hoping that one would kind of float into our booth the other night. We'd kind of flirt with it a little bit, get really close, but then go back out.
Well, now he shows his balance, I guess, like kind of leaning over that railing, which is kind of intimidating up there because it's a deep drop.
Yeah, it's pretty steep. Oh, got some fans trying to shake their tail feathers the way that Harry Canary does. If I ever became famous, I don't know what my animal spinoff would be. Yours is so easy, Jeremy.
The otter, yes. Well, the Superstars here at the ballpark the last couple days. We saw some new characters here today. You can find out more at info@superstars.com. On the email side of things, you can use the hashtag Superstars. They have a Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. More than 4,000 shows in front of more than 8 million fans since 1998.
This year I was born, Jeremy.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. I got you by 4 years. Here's the 1-0 to Horner. Fastball at 90. 2-0 on Colton. It's been held to an 0 for 3 days so far. A couple strikeouts and a ground out. Last chance for the Hoppers in this 7-inning scheduled game today on a Sunday. Wednesday through Friday, generally 9-inning games with the 2.5 rule implemented. Saturdays, really after the first couple weeks of June, have all been double headers. So 2 6-inning games, and Sundays a 7-inning contest. And there's a walk for Horner as he reaches for the first time today. You'd like to see the perk of the bats that we saw in the 6th inning by the Hoppers. They could have done more damage. They had the bases loaded again with 2 outs. Most of that run production coming with 2 outs. De Los Santos drove one in, reaching on an error. Juan Lopez Rios picked up his 5th RBI of the season.
Well, the Diamond Hoppers have had breakout innings before, and now would be the time to channel that energy.
Fastball to strike. Castellano today at a double back in the 3rd. Not sure if they ruled it officially in the books as a double or a triple. It was bobbled in left center field. They did rule it a triple, says Matt Snyder, as this one pounded foul down the first baseline.
Don't see too many of those here in the USPBL, triples.
Yeah, not a lot of true, deep gaps. The only opportunity is if you loop one into foul territory. Certainly if this foul territory extended all the way down the lines, I'm sure you'd see some more. with balls kind of hooking. But the bullpens make it a bit tight down there. That's a nice looking slider from Cole Stanton. First strikeout tonight, or make it the second, the first here in the 7th.
That'll bring up Felix Abarrete. Talked about that breakout performance they had not too long ago against the Beavers. Grand slam.
Here he golfs a single into left. Hoppers aren't going down quietly here in the 7th. Which for anybody watching that matters in terms of scouts, not sure there's any in the building here tonight, but that's music to their ears. Can go a long way in evaluating these players. Joe Burke has reached a couple times, a double in the 2nd, also an error allowed him to reach first in the 6th. He came around to score, him and Abarrete, the two that have touched home plate for the Hoppers this afternoon. Popped him up here. Verdejo under it for the 2nd out, and everybody will stay where they are. Greg Vaughn Jr., the last time he's furthered his on-base percentage again today. 3 appearances at the plate. Has gotten on each time, 2 walks and a single to this point. First pitch to Greg off the plate outside. I'll stick around for our Autolab postgame show. Jason Ross Jr. will catch up with our Rochester University player of the game. Nasty slider there for strike 1.
I'm sure Nochi would love to see Greg Vaughn Jr. tap into that energy that he had during the home run derby. 27 over the fence.
We saw a home run or 2 for him after that. He has 3 on the season.
Seems as though during that stretch they were over the left side, but really diving into the numbers seems as though he can work the ball up the middle and the opposite way as well.
Harry Canary has stole someone's hats in the stands here as he makes his way around.
He is giant.
He is, isn't he? Those characteristic glasses. Three and 1 to Greg Vaughn Jr. That one for strike 2. First and second with 2 outs. A big pitch. The runners will be moving. Popped him up. It's going to hang up there to right field. LeBoy under it. Squeezes it, and a nice victory for the Beavers here today. Good pitching performance from Austin Shea. He went 5 today, striking out 6 in his first USPBL start. Only allowing 4 base runners, all of them hits here today. Cole Stanton taking the baton, gave up a couple runs in the 6th. One of them, actually both unearned because they were with 2 outs. And then a few base runners in the 7th, but able to get out of it with some contact outs. A line out and a pop out. Jason will be back with our player of the game in a little bit here on the USPBL Network. Stick with us.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Well, a reminder to join us for Oldies Night on Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up at 7:05 Eastern Time here at the USPBL. $10 grandstand tickets for senior citizens. They can be purchased by clicking the promotional link on the USPBL site. Food specials include a cheeseburger and malt combo for $10 and a cheeseburger and Blake's Blueberry Lemonade Float combo as well for $10. There's also 2-for-1 tickets on Wednesdays here. You can get a grandstand ticket if you buy one for free as well, and select grandstand tickets apply for that. The big splash here today in this game, Christian LeBoy. His first home run of his professional career, a grand slam to left, adding a double and a walk and a run scored. His 12th RBI of the year by the time he touched home plate, driving in Verdejo, Santiago, and Bagneski in that fourth inning where they really broke it open at a 4-0 lead for a little bit, a 2-0 lead very early on in this game. And in the end, after the Hoppers added a couple more later on in the game in the sixth, Aberrett and Burke scoring to make it 9-2, which was our final score here today. Jason is with our player of the game after this here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
As your neighbor who works at Ascension, Michigan, and a cardiologist who's practiced for more than 20 years, I'm going to keep asking, how are you feeling today? Your care can't wait. Getting care sooner can mean catching things before they get worse. At Ascension, Michigan, our ERs and our hospitals and other sites of care are maintaining strict precautions for your safety. Studies have shown that people will get care sooner if they're encouraged by their doctors, family, and friends. Get the care you need at getascensionmichigancare.com.
Welcome into the Auto Lab postgame show brought to you by Rochester University alongside Beavers right fielder Christian LeBoy. I'm Jason Ross Jr. After a 9-2 win for the Beavers over the Hoppers today, bouncing back from the loss a couple of days ago. Christian, you had 5 RBIs today, 4 of which came off your first USPBL, not only home run, but grand slam, which really broke the game open in the 4th inning. We just talked about what you were working on entering today. What do you feel led to success in that at-bat?
So early in the game, on my first at-bat, I was just trying to put together some adjustments that I have been working on. So later in the game, like when I got that at-bat, I tried to put the best swing that I can on the pitch that I was sitting on.
And as a team today, 13 hits for the Beavers, 9 runs, which was one shy of a season high. Was there a message from your manager, Ed Campanella, about how to bounce back offensively today?
No, we just focus on hit the ball hard to the middle. So we have been struggling a little bit. Sometimes we got runners on base. So we try to do our best job, and it works.
How would you describe the feeling in the dugout during a performance like this where 8 out of 9 batters reached safely today?
So everyone was excited. So we have been working together for moments like this, and we finally put together some at-bats, good pitching, and we got the W.
Thanks, Christian. Really appreciate your time, and congrats on the game today. That's Christian LeBoy after a 9-2 win for the Beavers over the Hoppers today here at Jimmy John's Field.